3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got married in a fever, hotter than a pepper sprout, and we've been talking about Jackson.
Well, hello.
Hey.
Welcome to this week's episode of What We're Listening To. This is Nick.
And Courtney.
We're listening to a little Jackson by Gillian, Welch, and David Rawlings. They actually just released a cover album called All the Good Things. Coincidentally, because I did an episode on Tuesday about Gillian Welch, and I didn't even know that it came out.
You're a bad researcher.
Yeah, the subject wasn't really looking up her music necessarily, but I did miss that. So we're playing it now.
Yeah, this is a good song. And it's not covering who I thought it would be covering. So I thought this was a Johnny Cash song, as I'm sure most people probably do. But you informed me today that it is not, in fact, Johnny Cash original song. So whose song is that?
That's correct. And actually, what's funny or interesting, I don't even know, is the Rolling Stone article that came out referenced it as a cover of the Johnny Cash and June Carter song as well. So it's like that level of popularity is because of that version, obviously. But it is originally a Billy Ed Wheeler and Jerry Lieber song.
Don't know those guys.
Yeah, Johnny Cash and June Carter covered it.
Right. So, I mean, they made it famous, right?
Yes.
People don't know
Yeah, exactly.
the other version.
Maybe it's just a song about your marriage needing a little spark, and then they want to go to this town called Jackson and kind of, I don't know, get it on. So that's kind of funny.
It's like when people say they're going into the city.
Yeah, all right.
Go out to dinner, get a little hotel room.
Yeah. So what's going on?
It was your birthday this week. Happy birthday, Nick.
Thank you.
You're an old man now.
Yeah, 31 and feeling fun. People say that.
Yeah. I don't know.
Courtney did get me a bird feeder and a bird watching book, so all of that BS about not knowing birds is now past.
No excuses.
Yeah,
now.
it's now past tense.
Yeah. And you ID'd your first bird today.
I
there was
did,
a bird
but
at
I got
the
it
feeder.
wrong.
It's okay. It's not about getting it right. It's the fun of looking things up. So at least you know that like warbler's a whole section of the book.
Yeah, and I was at least in the right family of sparrows.
Cool. Great.
So that's not why we're here, though. So we could talk about birds all we want on our own. What else is going on?
That's it. It's been your birthday week. We've been celebrating. You've been spoiled.
Quick shout out to our friends Jill and Joe. You're drinking their beer right now.
Oh yeah, they
at our
left.
house.
They left some beers here, and we're drinking their beer. So also, yes, what we're drinking. I'm drinking a sour beer from Idle Hands, of which I did not purchase. I also didn't.
Those are the best
steal
kinds
it.
of beers.
Kill Your Idols, tropical.
Is it?
Tasty.
It's not stealing beer if someone leaves it at your house,
I think that's true.
and they left it in the fridge. So
Shanks.
whatever. Thanks. So we got a couple songs today. We actually had like 6 or 7 that we had to whittle down a little bit.
There's so much good new music right now. Oh my gosh.
That was fun.
I'm really excited about it. I had to restrain ourselves a little bit for this week, but don't worry because they're on tap for next week and we've got lots of good stuff coming your way. But yes, I picked two that I would do today.
Yeah.
Should we start with the first one?
Well, where else are we going to start?
Good point. Let's start here. Let's start with a song called The World Is Ending.
Yes, a good pick-me-up to start the show.
Yes. The World Is Ending by Brent Cobb.
Are you going to stab me with that pen?
Do you want me to?
I mean, no, but you're holding it like you're going to.
I'm using it to make a point.
Okay.
I'll stop. Yeah. So this song, The World Is Ending, is from an album that's actually coming on October 2nd. So it hasn't quite been released yet, but Brent has released 2 songs off of the upcoming album called Keep 'Em On They Toes.
Keep 'em on they toes?
Keep 'Em On They Toes. Yes.
Okay.
He's from Georgia.
That
So
doesn't
I
mean that he has to say it like that.
Well, I read it in my head in kind of like a Southern accent, which I'm not very good at. So
I was going to say, you going to give it an attempt?
No. Mm-mm.
That's what we need Jake for on the show, to do the accents.
Yeah, that's not me. Yeah, I mean,
keep them on the toes. That's not even Southern. What
it seems like
What's a Southern accent?
I don't. That was like a leprechaun accent.
I forget what it is.
I'm looking for me pot of gold. All right, we need to stop that. That's enough. Cool. Let's listen to the song "The World Is Ending." If the title doesn't give it away about what it is. Although, I was reading an interview with Brent, and he was saying how this album is going to kind of capture kind of a simpler mindset despite this wild world that we live in these days. And, he certainly wants it to feel like an album that you can put on by yourself that makes it feel like you're sitting down with an old friend and just having a conversation. And so I did want to say that before you started it to see if you kind of get that vibe as it's playing.
Okay. All right. Here we go. The World Is Ending by Brent Cobb.
They say the world is ending again.
By the way, just really quick.
What the heck?
I know. I'm sorry. I've listened to this song a few times, and it just dawned on me that this reminds me of a very Cage the Elephant vibe. Different type of music being played, but the same vibe. That's all I have to say about that.
Thanks.
Everyone's busy defending their sins. I'm just sitting here picking out a ditty. If I can't be cleansed, I gotta stay gritty. This whole world ain't looking too pretty anyhow. Might be time to clean house. Shooting stars out my window, down the barrel of a gun.
So, despite what you might think about the lyrics of this song,
Yeah.
he actually wrote this a few years ago,
Yeah, okay.
but has just recently released it. I think it's very topical,
Yeah.
especially the introduction line where he says everybody's busy defending their sins.
Yeah. He, I'm just pulling it up now. He has done a lot of songwriting for other country, mostly country, I think. Other country stars, Luke Bryan, Miranda Lambert, Kenny Chesney, Little Big Town. So he's all over the place. So he does more than just make his own music.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah. He, I guess he's from Georgia, and a lot of his previous songwriting had been kind of geared towards missing Georgia, missing his home state. But he is officially moved back. He spent some time in LA, in Nashville, and he's officially back in Georgia. So I think this album is more of a reflection of kind of being able to be comfortable where he is.
Yeah.
Ricochet off a moonbeam who blew out the sun.
Oh, he's cousins with David Cobb, or Dave Cobb. Huh.
Who's Dave Cobb?
He's a music record producer, songwriter. I mean, like super famous. Produces the Highwomen, Chris Stapleton, Sturgill, Jason Isbell, Brandy Carlisle, John Prine.
Nice.
I didn't even dawn on me.
Might be time to clean house. They say the world is ending. They say the world is ending.
The world might be ending.
They say.
They do say that.
Again, the world is ending again.
Mm.
I don't know. I think those
we're due for one of those.
Those lyrics really like resonate with me and probably to a lot of people right now. You know, I keep trying to keep in mind that sometimes it really does feel like the world is ending right now. And
yeah.
I have to think that people probably thought this at multiple other points in time in our history where either I wasn't alive yet or wasn't aware enough to know what was going on. But yeah, Y2K, no, that's not as big a deal.
I mean, people thought it could have been a big deal. Everybody got the disc for their computer to make sure it didn't die.
Remember?
Make sure it was able to, once the clock struck midnight.
Yeah. Before we move on,
I'm still worried about it.
It's over now.
Oh, okay.
Before we move on, though, I just wanted to give a little shout out to Brent, who was apparently in a car accident last weekend.
Oh, geez.
His son was in the car. Both of them are okay. But just sending him some healing thoughts.
Definitely. Everyone keep them in your minds. I'm not really a thoughts and prayers guy, but in your minds.
Just send them
some love.
Good vibes.
All right, I got one that kind of sent me. I got to be honest, this next artist really, I like her music and I like what she's done, but it was really hard to find any info on her, so she made my life a little difficult for a little bit. So maybe that's what she's going for. I don't know. So this next artist and this next song is called Cowboy by an artist called Chlsy, but Chlsy is spelled Chlsy. So if you go look it up on Google, it automatically thinks you're trying to say cheesy. If you type in Cowboy Chlsy, it brings up Cowboy Cheesy, and then it thinks you're talking about like nacho dip.
Have you not learned like Google search 101 about putting things in quotations that you don't want it to change?
No, then you do that and it does it for you automatically. Like you hit, did you mean that little button there?
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, so let me start the song because I think it's pretty cool, and I'll talk about who she is after I kind of figure it out. So, Cowboy.
Would you just do this on the fly?
No, yeah. let everyone watch me figure this out as the song is going on. I think she has an awesome sound.
I wish you never left. Well, she poisoned your shirt with her perfume, whiskey on your breath. I bet you wish you never came home. I wish I would have slept. Instead I loaded up your 40.
She sounds like Lana Del Rey.
Oh, I don't think so. Disagree. I do think though that the music and the intro reminded me a lot of Orville Peck.
Yeah, that.
Like the really deep kind of like I expected him to come in with his really deep wall voice.
Yeah, the really. What is it? It's like, it's not. It's like not psychic country.
Are you gonna say current cosmic country again?
No.
Keeps
No.
coming
Anyway,
back
I really like this song, and so this is Chlsy. Like I said, her real name is Chlsy,
with all the vowels.
yeah, with an EA at the end. Gillian. Gilliland. And maybe that's why she changed it to the other spelling, because Gilliland is hard to say, to be honest. So, turns out, Chlsy was on American Idol season X5, so 15, which I think I read was 2015, which was like the final season. Roman numeral X5. You know what I'm talking about?
That's how they say it?
No.
What?
That's just what it said on the website. So I was able to find a website.
Wouldn't it be XV?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Reading Roman numerals and saying X for the 10 and then 5 just for the V. Moron.
It's like when
Anyway,
people are like,
all of the proceeds
number
of
one
her,
and letter B.
all of the proceeds of her music are going to different charities and organizations and stuff. So I thought that was cool. This particular song is going to the Equal Justice Initiative and fights mass incarceration.
EJI.
Yep.
Cool. That's nice. It's interesting. I don't watch what's that show, American Idol, anymore. But I have also been obsessed recently with another American Idol artist called Remy Wolf, who's definitely not folk. But if anybody's heard of her,
Yeah.
could listen.
I really like this key change that just happened a second ago. It changes the song a little bit.
Sentence death. Wherever I go next, I'll make you wish you never came home. I wanna be a cowboy. Ride through the desert rain. I would need nothing, so I'll keep on running till they don't know my name.
So I thought that was really cool. And I believe she does have a full album coming out. I'm not really sure when. So I'll figure that out and put it out there on social media as soon as I figure it out.
Cool.
But I love the sound. So
It is exciting when so was she a winner?
no, she went through a few rounds, and that kind of kickstarted her career. And she won the 27 John Lennon, I believe it's, what's the actual award? John Lennon Songwriting Award in 2017.
I think you said 27.
I did. I don't know what's going on with numbers.
today. I was gonna say
The numbers. What do they mean?
start reading dates in Roman numerals. If I could do that fast enough in my head, I'd say it.
What a train wreck.
Cool. No, it's good. I like to see artists from American Idol or whatever still be able to like get their songs out there and have people listen to their music, even though they weren't necessarily winners. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like the last time I watched American Idol was when that lady, what's her name? Susan Boyle was on it.
What was that? Season 2?
I don't know. That's the last time I watched it. I'm being honest.
Yeah.
But that was when it was like they got a record deal and they got CDs and they got money to make all this stuff. And now, you know, the internet is a thing and people get their music from there.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's giving artists a little bit more of a platform to release their stuff.
Here's a question. We debated this past weekend. Would you pay? So thinking, you know, a big subject that's going around right now on the internet is streaming services paying royalties to artists are kind of across the board pretty low. Some are better than others, you know, and you can kind of go look up those numbers. Mostly because I'll butcher which one is which if I just recite it off the top of my head. But would you pay?
No, I think the point of this is to say that Spotify's royalties are notoriously low.
Yes, they are. Spotify's is low, but also there are other ones that are low as well.
Sure.
So any of the streaming services, none of them are great. Outside of Amazon, I think. But would you pay, say, $500 or $1,000 or some number a year to pay artists better and basically have the same access, or to what you have now on Spotify or Apple Music or whatever, to just stream whatever you want on demand to help artists? Or would you rather go back to individually downloading CDs and songs where you have to pay per song?
Are you asking me that question?
Yeah.
Oh,
like your 99 cents or whatever
yeah.
it was, or $10 an album.
I like the streaming services, and I like all the features they offer. I think it gives us really this ability to find new artists, find new music with AI. Like they are getting smarter at predicting the things that I typically listen to. I enjoy those kind of summaries at the end of the year. So like the features that are built into these streaming services, I think has a value.
Right.
I would definitely be willing to pay more. I think I listen to a significant amount of music every day. I think I think we've said this before, but we use Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
And it totals your hours at the end of every year and gives you that summary.
Right.
And it's like some astronomical number of minutes of music that I listen to. So I would be willing to pay more. I mean, the monthly cost is really low. And I think if artists aren't being compensated for their livelihood, for their work, for the things that they're putting their blood, sweat, and tears into, then they should be.
Mm-hmm.
And if that has to come back onto me, the listener, then I'm happy to do that. I think, yeah. And buying things like in an album, I appreciate the art of an album, the fact that artists will put them together and it's really kind of a story. But to be totally honest, I don't always listen to full albums. Sometimes I like only a few songs off of there. And that was a frustrating thing when CDs were a thing. And you'd get excited. You like this artist, you buy the CD and you liked 2 songs off of it.
Yeah. That's the thing. And that's the point, right? Like, so in our lifetime, we've had both experiences, right? Where we have to either, think back to when we bought CDs and or individual songs, like the kind of progression, right? Buying albums, you had to buy the whole thing, or singles. I mean, there were singles here and there, but like buying CDs, then that moved to, okay, I mean, if we're talking about paid, services, move to individual downloading of albums and or songs through something like iTunes. And then we moved to this like a la carte, just like monthly subscription model, which I think I would pay more to just have the same access I have now, knowing that it could be much worse and I could be limited to like, oh, well, sunk $10 into this album. There's $10 gone that I didn't really love, or I didn't love all of it, and I just like a few songs. Like now I'm not stuck with that. I still have the convenience, but I'm also contributing to that community. I don't know. What do you think?
He's not asking me.
No, now I'm asking the audience.
You, collective
so it'd be good to know. Anyway, all right, let's cover one more song and then we hit the road. We're not going anywhere really, but
we're home. Stay home. Cool. The last song that I want to talk about is called Run It by My Morning Jacket. So a little bit of an atypical band.
People always get hyped up about them.
They've got quite a cult following. Yeah, I mean, wouldn't necessarily think of My Morning Jacket as typically a folk band, but I do think that their music really spans the genres depending on their mood and, whatever.
By the way, I consider them folk music, but
I totally don't. And maybe that just is a product of when I was introduced to their music, is when they were like very rock heavy. And I wasn't a fan right away. I was like, no, this isn't for me. But now I've started to listen to more of their stuff and I realize how different albums can sound from time to time.
Keep in mind that when Bob Dylan went electric at Newport Folk Festival, 1965, I think that was the year, he was not considered folk music at the time, playing Maggie's Farm. And I just think that it can be whatever it needs to be in terms of like original songwriting, like playing with an actual band. And I think that they do a really good job of, and Jim James, I guess, is the leader of the band, does a really good job of like traversing and moving through different types of like fringe areas of the genre for sure, but like they've touched it all, which I think is really hard to do.
Yeah, I think so. They apparently this song that I want to play next is from this surprise album release that happened earlier this week.
Yeah.
Called The Waterfall 2, and The Waterfall 1. Well, it's just not called 1. It's called The Waterfall. Came out in 2015. I see you trying to redeem yourself with your Roman numerals. Nobody cares. The Waterfall that came out in 2015, they did a lot of that. Like Jim James pasted, I guess they like recorded different things and then like pasted it together. I'm doing this with my hands, but I don't know how producing works. So
no, I think it's just like that.
Yeah, you like weave things together. That gives all the songs this really interesting sound because it is weaving between different recordings of the song. Let's play a song. Let's be quiet. We've been talking for a long time. Play a song. I'll talk about it.
Okay.
It's a good one.
Here's Run It by My Morning Jacket.
Try much harder, get back to water, get back harder, get back to water. Can't try much harder, get back to water, get back harder, get back to water. Set my mind free. If you ain't too kind, you ain't my time.
It's actually incredible that they have so many different sounds if you think about it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sorry.
I was just gonna say that was my favorite line. You talked over it, but it's nice. It says, "If you ain't too kind, you ain't my type," and it's just a song about standing up for yourself. It's like an empowering song, I guess. So the story behind this album was that My Morning Jacket recorded all of these songs from Waterfall and then it had enough content for 2 separate albums, and they considered releasing it with 2 discs and they didn't end up doing that. And in interviews, Jim James was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, like, man, it's coming, I have it, we have it. That was in 2015 and here it is. So, and they kind of like surprise released this. But they did talk about in interviews, you know, they did try to group things. A lot of this recording was done and the songs were written as like this kind of breakup that they were going through, and then this Waterfall 2 is more of like the healing process, and so a lot of the songs and lyrics reflect that. So I think this song is about, you know,
Who was going through a breakup?
I don't know. It's a good question. Jim James, maybe? Yim Yames?
Maybe he was going through a breakup with Yim Yames, which is no longer what he goes by.
Just disassociating.
Yeah. I don't know. I actually don't know his personal story that well. Although I did read that this was at a time when they were touring and recording so much music that he had like herniated a disc in his back from playing so much and doing like, you know, playing on stage and playing guitar and all that kind of stuff, like so much that he had to take a break from playing.
Yeah, and I guess that's why they never released the second part of the album.
Yeah,
shortly
after this, he released 2, maybe 3 solo albums that are like, I don't know what kind of music you'd consider it, but they're like electronic music.
Can't try much harder to get back to water, or get back harder, get back to water. Can't try much harder to get back to water, get back.
What's funny is this is one of the songs that I really liked off of this new record. And I was reading a review of the record, and somebody highlighted it as one of their least favorite. I like it. But if you like it or don't like it, maybe go listen to some of the other songs. This wasn't everyone's fave.
Yeah. All right, that's what we got for this week. Take us home, my morning jacket. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye. That was weird.